Regarding the workshop and presentation, I thought we especially had the question of whether we have more general workshops or more dedicated workshops dedicated on particular themes. Whether we should try and have more concrete results coming out of workshops, in terms of recommendations for projects or for yeah, I thought that compared to Rudolph's presentation where at the end of the staff exchange he has actual concrete things that he produced. And also in the workshops, whether we need to imagine the needs of different kinds of institutions. Our workshop is very much based on national libraries, although Rosalie was there and I think you found it useful to know that projects are different, but we've had this discussion a few times. There are more university libraries in IPC, so do we need to see that into account? So maybe just skipping to Rudolph for exchanges. That was interesting, the question of whether it should be seen as a two-way process. You said you were worried about not having anything to bring, so whether we see that kind of exchange more as a two-way process or whether it's in a training session and also whether it's based on more of the technical aspects. Again, you were saying that maybe the original proposal was going to see technically how the archive work, but you also found it valuable to see how it was structured. It was a different organisation, so is that also part of the exchange, which is something that's on the workshop as well? And then related to both of these questions, in terms of Brenda's presentation, I think maybe the main point was the need for a curriculum. What is web archiving, what is a web archivist, the education, the different aspects we saw in the workshop and the exchange, and does that give us ideas? How can we have closer ties to educational institutions, and also perhaps now that we have more universities that are being involved in IPCs, that question. So that's what I heard. So does anyone have any comments? Or maybe start out benefit from the fact that there are 4 people here who were at the workshop in the BNF in one way or another. How do you feel about going on with the project workshops? Do you think that having something similar would be useful? Or another kind of workshop?
Yeah, I mean, I do think, I think that workshop was hugely successful for me, and I think being in your library and seeing how things really work and getting the whole spectrum of how web archive can fit in your organization, I mean, all those things were really great. It was just great. I think I was really hopeful afterwards that we would have this community that would, we'd all work together, and we never did. Not even one email, but, right at the time we had emails, but then, so we talk about this in general with IAPC, we're talking about should the website be able to support this. I mean, building a community is a very organic thing, and it's hard to force, tools are just tools, so I don't know, it's a difficult thing to do, to build a community, honestly. I mean, in person it's easier, but online it's difficult. So I think that would be something, how could we get connected after the workshop? I don't know. From that workshop, I'm not sure what concrete project could have been done. Because for me, I took it as a broad overview of web archiving, because that's where I was in my profession, was learning about this field. So,
do you think that if it was a workshop that was entirely or partly based on perhaps a more practical question, like how to do quality assurance, that could lead to a project?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I could see something, or I would love to see something about collection development is another topic I think you don't hear a lot about, but it's, maybe because the National Libraries don't get worried about it. I don't know. Well, you do in your selected crawls, I guess. But that's a big issue I get asked a lot is, what do I crawl? And how do I organize that? And what's my selection process? So that could be a topic. As you're right, QA, if if there was just something on that topic, then at the end of the day, maybe you have policies or best practices, or people would go back, implement something and then share it back. That might be easier to have conversation afterwards, because you'd have something very concrete. Maybe after our workshop, we were all in such different places, what would we talk about afterwards? You know, things of interest to me might not be of interest to others. So I think you're right, something more concrete would, you should require some concreteness if the topic is that narrow. Yeah. And that could really be good, taking these areas that are standards, I suppose is another area we'll talk about. Yeah.
Yes, for a student, there's one shift that has happened, and which was started there in this workshop, was the idea that the web archiving should be a part of collection policy, overall National Library collection policy, and we have started this process. We had our first meeting last week, and we are going to revise the collection policy and add the web archiving to the collection policy. So it makes the placement of web archive more secure, actually.
Yeah.
So, but yes, the collection policy is really important thing, and very interesting for me too. But at that moment, there was not that many people who had experience on building collection policy on that level, at that high level. So, but now, I think the same people who have started something, like we in Estonia, we need more knowledge and expertise in this field.
I think in many aspects it's not, there are not so many people who can really give you like a ready-to information on how to do things. In many things concerning web archiving, it's still very much in process of becoming a profession, so to speak. And that's one important thing why I think that the very concrete issues discussed would be very beneficial. So we still seek for the common language and common routines and common procedures, and we should have more of that too, I think, and concentrating on very concrete issues would help us in that. So it's not just educating someone to do something, but together to do it and to communicate about it.
And not only to achieve information, if you have to recover the information too. It's important.
Yeah, I think writing things down is good. You know, internet, or not internet archive, but actually archive it, authored by Christine Hanna and someone else, recently wrote that, I don't know if books are ready yet, but that web archiving workflow document.
Yes.
What a great document. I mean, just to write it down. I mean, I think some sort of white papers, like I think, Brenda, you're going to do one maybe. Those are good things.
Yeah.
They really are, you know, so that could be an end product of some sort of meeting too. Of course, she has to write.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and another thing on this at the time the report we talked last week, but it is quite short, it's quite synthetic, it's just a quick resume of what we said. I hope it's useful, but it is perhaps the only concrete result of the workshop. Although we will also write the article, which is perhaps more detailed in presenting our workflow. So in fact, there's going to be more information in that article. I think so. Brenda was saying she would like to come to the workshop. I don't know if can you imagine if there was a workshop like that interests you but you can't go. Is it interesting to have a report? Or,
Absolutely, but I remember because I was thinking about the survey at the time and said, so we'll have this workshop, but the report will be available for a while. So I remember, I don't have access to this info now, but if it had been, I I mentioned this earlier, something else, if they had been video or streamed or presentation slides put up, Helen Hawks Hugh, who did a presentation, I put up her slides or something, that's something, that's something.
Yeah.
Instead of, rather than waiting like maybe a couple of months for a technical report to surface.
Yeah.
But-
That's partly my fault because I was not writing the report, so I was hoping to get it up sooner, but I think it could be a thing to note for workshops that you should really have the report, everything online, and I
Just
think
the slides and
soon afterwards, yeah.
Yeah.
But if it would be streamed, there no one would come to the workshop, or really few people. So it's otherwise hard. So.
Well, you could, for example, record it and then put it up afterwards.
Yeah.
So that people can refer to it, people who went there or people who couldn't go there, but only afterwards. And,
Yeah, but
The only, sorry, just the only that I would have is that one of the things that people like was that it's very informal debate, and I was slightly worried that if people knew it was being recorded or knew that it was
Okay.
going online, you might lose a bit of that, but
And that's my point exactly. It was really great atmosphere. Everybody told about the failures. So if you know it's going to be recorded and it goes public, so you won't talk.
It depends so much on the character of the event. We have quarterly news sessions or updates at the National Library of Finland, where there are hundreds of people online and a couple of dozen present. But it's a 15-minute presentation of what's happening, so it doesn't matter. There are a few questions, then we go to the next issue. So it's good that there are a few people there, but it doesn't matter. But if you want to discuss, of course, have a debate, then you have to be there. Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's an American viewpoint. I don't mind being recorded or getting up in front of a room and presenting because I've done it a million times. So it's possibly a cultural thing.
And you forget about it in 10 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, if people are uncomfortable, I have to respect that.
Okay, is this camera?
Yes. Yes.
So maybe building that time to exchange I think now maybe it's useful to see other people, see how they work. I was wondering what's the difference between a workshop and the staff exchange. I mean, I suppose it's more practical for smaller people, smaller group of people.
For me, staff exchange is about that I choose the direction, I choose institution where I want to find people with the expertise. So for me, it's really goal-oriented. Workshop is this kind of tool, but it's more about like both-sided, or let's say, I was looking for expertise, I wasn't really looking for giving expertise to someone else. So I think workshop is more reciprocal approach. I found good about the exchanges that if you deal with some problems, you usually encounter problems during, let's say, after some time, after a week, which is usually out of the scale of the workshop, where you deal with the basic things, and when you go really deeper, then you are like alone because I think you cannot finish everything during the workshop. So I think this is the good thing about exchange, that you are there for longer time, and many questions were raised later, and you didn't lose the contact with the institution or the expertise. So this is a good point about the staff exchange. If you think about something more, which takes more time than like 1 week.
And for the exchange, what was the deliverable that I accessed, or was the work that you did on
The developer for IPC, it's a kind of use case how to migrate heretics 1 to heretics 3. It still needs some clarification, and that it is not my interpretation of how heretics work, but it will be reviewed by the Internet Archive staff, which is qualified to say it's properly configured.
And what you said, you felt that you didn't have much to bring when you were asking. Do you know, did the Internet Archive feel that it was useful for them to participate in the exchange?
From what I heard, usually I think that people in the archive, they don't know how other institutions use their software. That was like, for instance, one of the programmer of the heretics told me that he never speak with anybody who use heretics outside of the Internet Archive. So I think this is the thing which you can bring to the institution. You think that you can use it in different approach than they use it. But you might feel like about the Internet Archive, they really do development for their own, for what they need. So that's the current status of the heretics.
And the project that you had, was your idea or Internet Archive's idea, or?
No, it was, I need to do this in my library, so this was really the priority in my library.
Yeah, I hear that a lot from who's the lead developer on our project, that I mean, I know that maybe this won't be to say that loud, but he says, it'd be great to have someone to talk to, about his problems that he's trying to solve, or just about heretics. And so, when you said that, for even for in an archive, who I can't believe they don't know everything, they still want to talk to people with different perspectives. So it's interesting to hear. And so we're in our office, he's the only person who knows about heretics. And so he doesn't have anyone else to bounce ideas off for solutions or things he's done. So it's interesting to hear. I think there's something there. I don't know what something is. Because I don't know that we would do, not everyone can do the staff exchange. But I wonder if there's something that's could mimic that. That would be good. It's not a listserv.
I have a question. When I think exchange, I think like someone goes to the Internet Archive and then the Internet Archive sends someone over to, would that happen?
It would be great for us.
Well,
Internet Archive,
okay.
our place. It didn't work like this.
It was one way.
It was one way.
It just
Actually, you have to. I think it's about the maturity of the archives. Actually, we are in another place than our rest of the archives. So, I think for someone to go to our place, it's more like not really about gaining new skills, but like finding new approach or something like this. But it's not really rewarding for him standing there. So I think it is the discrepancy between what we can give and what we can take. So if there is when it's one-sided.
Unless it was like a mentor program, it's a little different.
Yes, actually that would be much better description.
Maybe that's what you call it.
It was really.
That's interesting, and I can. Yeah, use this discussion as also to take ideas that we can give to the steering committee and the education and training committee. So we could imagine that we could have staff exchanges, but we could also have mentoring. And I suppose the question which I was going to ask for the exchange as well is, what would encourage institutions to be involved in that kind of thing? And the question was asked earlier by what did the BNF get out of the workshop? I think we got about 5 years, and as I said, we met, we got goodwill also technically for future IITC events we want to host. It's a good experience. In your institutions, if someone asked if the IITC wanted to put on another kind of workshop or to put in place a staff exchange, would that interest you? Would it be possible? Would you see value in that? because it's, I think, either for staff exchange or workshop, it's a certain amount of work for the institution that hosts. So
I mean, I think in our case, because our libraries are not doing that much web archiving, I could see if we brought the bayonet in, that would just put them right in good shape. So, like, this is how you do it. I mean, but then I'm just seeing what we get out of it.
yeah.
You
So,
know?
but
So that's like a
then-
mentoring thing. If you all came and did and
Yeah.
showed our librarians how it could be done, and I think that would be hugely great for us.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know what you would get out of it, but, so I think that's again a mentoring model. That's not what you're asking.
I mean, you mentioned the other way around. But, you would get a trip together.
Yeah, you guys said, yeah, of course, California, what's it?
I think it's interesting the distinction between mentoring and exchange. I think you can imagine both of them, but I think the interest of an exchange, as I'm saying, is if there is a reciprocity that both sides can get something out of it. I don't know how, also, you were saying you can all go for lunch during the general assembly. I don't know if you can imagine how, if it would either mentoring or staff exchange, how ideas would come out, because an exchange, you would need to find two institutions who have complementary interests and expertise for it to work. I don't know, would this be a people could add
Could
something
you-
on the EC website?
Could you maybe match institutions based on their size or their standing, like a national library with another national library, or a university library with another university library? Because I'm thinking, this is just, me thinking aloud, but maybe if the BNF came and went there, the BNF has a different budget, has a different legal deposit, different legal environment than maybe California digital libraries. And I think that, they would, I think that California CD would get a lot out of it, but there would be, I wonder about the fit, between the two institutions.
I think we could, just hypothetically, if BNF and CDL were going to have staff exchange, I think CDL have there's a lot of contact with researchers. Your collections are very much based on demands from researchers in universities.
Yeah.
So as you're saying, it's very much a collection building viewpoint. We have the very legal deposit viewpoint. So I think even different institutions could get into it. I think also in terms of staff exchange, it's also the idea of having again a concrete result. If it's going to be something that's funded by the IPC, it can't just be of interest to institutions. It has to, as you're saying, for those there was a definite project, there's going to be a definite report that can be taken up by other people. It's finding that structure as well. I don't know, maybe we've gone to some of the questions which are very linked, especially the question with our curriculum and the different skills. If you have more.
Well, if you guys have any idea of a number, you want to write down the list for me, things that a web archivist must know, and courses that a web archivist must take, it would be, I think, much appreciated, because we don't have a curriculum.
Sorry, there are some universities that there is digital preservation curricula, and there is web archiving included. I guess in New York is, but I have to look from my papers. 2 years ago there was in Tallinn a conference about digital preservation, and there was an old man who had funny things to say, a lot, and he was a professor at a university, and they had web archiving courses. also as a part of curriculum.
In France, there was a presentation by Thursday, I think. There's a master's course on digital archiving in general, and there's been a module added on web archiving. So that, I mean, I think that would be interesting for you. So Thursday afternoon. Which is one approach. I mean, it's like you said, the idea of training web archivists of the future. So,
Well, there's I mean, I recently taken my first digital preservation course, which is, very much library oriented. And sometimes there I see things, I don't have a library background, so, this helped me kind of build a library background. I sometimes see that there are certainly a lot of the same issues, but there are things that are quite different, I think, in web archiving. Because I think a lot of people in digital preservation, digital curation, don't even know that web archiving exists or don't take it into account. So in my short experience with digital archiving, digital preservation, digital curation, hasn't been that much integration, at least, of web archiving. It's just starting to kind of filter into the field. And I'm not sure that if you say, okay, I study digital curation, I'm not sure that you could say that you can do web archiving. I could be completely wrong. I'm not sure that you could say, oh, that means I know web archiving.
Yeah, they're quite wide apart. If you think of rather traditional, you have very well formed collections of things,
Yes.
and contra web archiving system is.
Yes, for example, they have very clear standards on metadata, on formats that can be preserved over time, on data management plans to life cycle of things. I don't see that in web archiving. I'm not sure that if you study digital curation, you would say, I can do web archiving. I think there's an overlap, but I'm not sure.
I think there's an overlap. I think one thing is that I touched on in my presentation is that web archiving includes a lot of different aspects. So again, for instance, in the DNF, when we are integrated into the digital preservation system. So there's someone in the web archiving team that works more preservation, but we also work with digital preservation experts. So, and there's a communication between the two, because people who work in general digital preservation have to understand the needs of web archiving. Because as you say, it's very specific needs, but you can put in place a digital preservation workflow for web archiving, but you have all the problems of formats, structure of collections, and you need to find them. So I think the question also of the curriculum is web archivist, is there only one type of web archivist, and does it change depending on what you do?
I think sorry, a quick thing. I wonder if the steering committee would be open to me widening my experience at other institutions that offer a bit more, or something like that.
I was just thinking about, when you have a new field like that, there's a side of me that doesn't want to, maybe this isn't the right word, like ghettoize web archiving, like it's this thing that's so separate. But in fact, sometimes I tell people, it's not so different, don't worry. You still need collection development, you still need standards, you still need that. It's library stuff. It's all around it. And it's just not so different than, deciding which book to buy, cataloging it, or whatever. You still need collection development. You can't just call any old site. You have to have policies of what you decide to call. You have to have a budget. You can't buy every book. You can't call every site. So there's something about kind of comforting about trying to place it in the framework we already have, and saying, what you learn about how to run.
I have to get funding for it. I have to get people maybe to work on it. It could take me quite a few months or maybe years to work on it. I have to write a paper on it. I have to submit it to a conference or a journal, see if it gets admitted, review it, present it. This could take, we're talking like a longer term things, where here we have quicker turnaround. Okay, we did the workshop, okay, here's a technical report. couple of things, like quicker exchange of information, which is an advantage.
Yeah.
You know, but academia, in the world, I think, moves slower
Yeah.
and it has more rules,
All right.
I think. So, that's what I meant,
Yeah,
kind of the
yeah,
structure, like how things work, the workflow is different.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, we have 15 minutes left, so we're trying to put a few things here. We thought the idea of mentoring could be interesting, and I suppose mentoring could be both someone who's already working in the archiving, but they could also be students.
Yeah.
If there was web archiving, it's at the BNF, it's kind of already taking place because there are internships from the library school and the BNF, so we have had the last couple of years a few interns. So and that's internal thing in France because the BNF proposes internships to these library schools anyway. Or could we imagine putting in place something like that in the IIBC? I suppose then again the question could what does the mentor get out of it? I suppose it's if there's again usually with an internship that there's a project that they want to do that's maybe a bit more experimental, but they don't have the time to do it, so having an intern could that be interesting? I don't know if that would work in everyone's institutions or.
I think I'm confused the two issues. So you're talking about having an intern come in to your office and wherever at work, or being a mentor? I think I'm lost.
Working, yes. No, the institution is the mentor.
Oh, okay, sorry.
And then you have an intern that.
You bring intern.
I'm just thinking that there's a similarity between what we were saying about an institution mentoring someone that already works in an IIBC member or a student.
Yeah. I mean, we've had interns and, the more defined the scope of the project and all these best practices is good, but it's usually a good thing for us as the institution. We do gain something because we have some project that we need done, and, that is a good thing.
Could you maybe would it be, I heard of this at some other companies, that some companies, they say, okay, you can work on this R project for a certain number of hours, but you have a certain allotted time allocated to working on your own project. I've seen this at I think Google has something like this, like they allocate some time that you can work on your own so that, the company or the larger institution gets something out of you. You get to work for their project, but you also get to work on your own, kind of pursue your own interests in a way, maybe kind of like split time. I don't know.
We have one guy doing his master's thesis about our web archive at the moment, so it's a small beginning, and we hope that he'll be interested to do his doctoral thesis there too. But what we do is that we annually gather a list of possible items for master's thesis, and then we try to promote it for the students of computing science or information science, and perhaps 5 or 6 theses every year done in cooperation with other. And we can pay them little pocket money, not really higher than that. They get a couple of thousands of euros.
Could we imagine that this came up in our discussions earlier about the organization of IIBC, that if there are mentorships or staff exchanges or internships that could be linked to projects that have been identified, as we were talking about this morning? Could that be a possibility, a way of advancing if a project has been identified by IIBC that's around that staff exchange or mentorship, that could be a framework for working on a specific project?
I want the hotshot computer scientist guy to come to my organization to just code away and create something amazing.
I mean, I'm just thinking that could be a way of combining the interest of having people going to other institutions and learning things, but also having a concrete
Yeah, no, I think in that
Deliverable,
framework
yeah.
is nice, yeah, because we talked about that being narrowly scoped and be project oriented, yeah, done it together.
Institutions, we do little hot shots. Coding night, go away.
I know. Like, wait, what are you doing? Here's your green card. Stay.
Okay. So I think some of the main ideas that I'm looking at is that so our workshop is maybe going to stay slightly more theoretical, more of a learning experience, but it would be a good idea if we have these workshops to have a more focused subject that could lead to propositions for this kind of task force.
Well, I mean, although I think it depends, I mean, I think the general one we had, I found really great. If
So
there's
you-
interest in people still needing that general thing, I think I wouldn't get rid of those type ideas, but in addition, we might want something focused. I mean, given limited resources, I suppose maybe you choose some more focused, but would totally throw out that more general, especially, I don't know, to new people.
And on the other hand, staff exchanges or mentorship would possibly go the other way around if a project had already been identified by an institution. That could be a way of working with another institution, and as Ben was saying, so there could be a partner working on that specific project, using the time to learn other things, other ways of working on other subjects. And and timing into the curriculum is maybe the most difficult thing. I think you've already started working on what exists in different countries in terms of web archiving
Yes.
curriculum.
Well, no,
Or,
I have done research because I'm interested in seeing who's doing web archiving. And I'm interested in seeing, okay, who offers classes in web archiving. So, has not been too productive, I guess. Not very much an exception. You know, maybe someone has a course on digital preservation and they do a lesson, a class to web archiving. You know, so I would be interested in maybe hearing from anyone or the steering committee saying, okay, you need to take a course in information retrieval, or you need to take a course in natural language processing, or you need to take a course in
Web technologies.
web technologies. You need to take a course in Heritrix. Do we have a course in Heritrix? I don't know, something like that. You know, like right now, I have taken, I've taken machine learning. I have taken digital curation. I'm taking some core information science courses, but I'm looking for things that more tailored. Or skills that I could acquire through a course that I could apply to the web archiving field. I don't need to, it would be nice, but I don't need to be, it doesn't have to be as extreme as me being in a course called web archiving.
yeah. I think what Rosalie said is important. I think we shouldn't be looking at putting web archiving as something apart. Should be trying to integrate it into
Yes.
other courses.
Yes, exactly.
I think also, especially at what level we get, because when you're arriving at PhD level, then you may be interested in specialising in them. If there are librarian courses or general courses earlier on, because it could also be IT courses that we want to. It would be easier when we're saying you need to work with IT people when putting in place web archiving projects. It would be easier if they've already heard about web archiving. If it's not something completely new.
Yeah, are any of you aware of any library schools that offer this education in web archiving? And it's part of the curriculum today when you educate yourself to become a librarian.
There's one in Montreal, the university, library science.
Yeah, that's Montreal.
Montreal.
All right.
And yeah, and I know that.
Maybe it's one course, it's maybe.
Yeah.
Yes.
It should probably have more focus on
Yeah, and like I said, this on this subject, I recommend the presentation by Clément Sarah, my colleagues on Thursday afternoon. The INSEAD, which is the main library school in France, or for public libraries in France. They have just last year, I think, put in place a web archiving module in the school preservation masters. So
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. It is. Okay. Are there any other points before we finish? I'm going to try and summarize that and suggest it to the steering committee and the education and training committee for further ideas. Just again, as a hypothetical question, if it was a question of putting in place a workshop or an exchange or a mentorship or anything like that, do you think good institutions would be able to do that kind of thing, either organizationally or in terms of resources? Or
Hosting maybe, not designating.
I could go. I would have to talk to my school if they
okay,
could.
so you can go to
Yes, exactly. So I could go, but I don't know if my school would
So
be.
you can go, you can host, you
Yes.
can host it.
Yeah, I think we would be interested in something. I don't know what that something looks like, but yeah, I think we would. I mean, it's hard to get for most people so far, most IFTC members. That's the only thing, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think,
I suppose the other point is saying that you need to have something concrete for the IITC. I think any of these would, at least workshops and exchanges, would take time and money of the institution, so you would also need to show for the institution that you're getting something out.
yeah.
So,
I mean, it could be interesting, certainly for us, given that IA is so close. So there could be some, you get to go to IA, you get to go to University of California campuses. So that's a little package. I think if we did anything, IA should definitely be included. Because right there, you should also
Yeah, I think that
do
was
something with them.
That would be interesting.
Certainly in our case, just the proximity of them.
Yeah.
yeah. So I think this is true for workshops. We mentioned this again earlier for regional meetings, and it's true for exchanges and workshops. Geographical proximity can also help.
Yeah.
It's would be easier to work with in an archive for us. It's easier to work with, just
Yeah.
in the same building or in the British Library. So
Yeah.
it could also be a way of structuring exchanges, which are more.
Like I am, right now, required with IA for 2 weeks, but if I could, hey, can I go to see you there for another 2 weeks or something?
Yeah, we should talk about it.
Like
You're there.
and kind of, because it's near enough, that I have to be there anyway. I mean, it would be a mix of things.
Okay. It's 15:15, so I'll let you go.
Thanks for checking on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.